Dick Fosbury decided to jump backwards, an innovation so great he ended up winning Olympic gold. Jumping backwards has dominated high jump ever since. In sport, the greatest advantage over your opposition is gained through innovation. Rarely has an athlete or group of athletes ever improved to dominate simply from doing the same thing over and over again with very little change.
We've set a very ambitious goal of improving by 5 seconds. Doing our best 200 meter time or best distance over 45 seconds, doing that 5 seconds faster, which means I have to improve by 15 to 20 meters. Whatever I can achieve in 40 seconds, I now have to improve again by 15 to 20 meters. That seems like a very, very impossible task.
The plan is to use different muscles at the start and different muscles throughout the race.
In order to achieve a monumental improvement in my race distance over 40 seconds, I have to get my peak power output from 9 strokes. I've got to try and achieve it now in at least 6 strokes. And if this project goes really well, we might try to get it down to 5 strokes.
By analyzing the power per stroke, I've been able to identify some really weak spots, and I've worked on improving those weaknesses, particularly between strokes 3 to 6. I've examined the biomechanics and then tried to find a way of improving the biomechanics, and then tried to find a strength exercise that helped increase my power for that particular biomechanical movement.
In order to get big increases in power in strokes 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, I've had to make some changes. I've decided to maintain that body sideways lean, but I'm going to start, I'll do it with a straight arm. It'll mean I'm getting a lot of leverage. I'll have to increase my strength dramatically because that's a lot of torque. And then maybe stroke 3 or 4, it'll become more straighter and the arm will bend, so I can start to increase the rate around stroke 5 and 6. So in order to achieve the impossible, I have to look at the power that I produce per stroke for the first 10 strokes. In order to improve that power, I have to look at the biomechanics. How do I produce that power? I have to look at my strength training. What strength training exercise do I need to perform to improve that power for that particular stroke?
So for the first few strokes, we're looking at strengthening with a straight arm. Bringing the arm across the body is the first step. Then you progress from that to doing a coupled movement, an exercise which would combine a crunch or a crunch with rotation or sit up with rotation. Would combine a sit up with rotation with a straight arm with weights in the arm. In addition to the techniques at the start, which have allowed me to produce more power earlier, I have relied primarily on 3 different strokes to allow me to sustain high power for longer. The result is further improvements. I honestly can't believe I'm still improving. I hope you are improving as well.
So you can see, still making impressive improvements. Very happy with that. Let me go through some of it with you. So after I achieve peak power at about stroke 6, I'm maintaining that throwing action with a high rate. And then I change to the cross hand grip, and I'm using a bit more of a turning with a rotate before I push forward with the arm. That rotation helps pull back the bottom arm. And then I add a third change. It's a little more speculative, it's kind of a pumping action with just the triceps. Not very good at it at this stage. It does result in an increase in power, but it's not that much. So I'll have to do strength training to increase my force output with that pumping action, both top and bottom arm. Very tricep, very tiring.
This exercise is concentric only. It is designed to strengthen your ability when you change grip. It'll allow you to strengthen your lats and pecs to help you to provide more power with that technique. The last technique I introduced for my simulated race was, well, my best guess from what these guys do that makes them pedal fast. I probably don't have their athletic ability. I just chose to do the tricep extension with both arms, as it uses very different muscles.
And last but not least, so we've got that top arm going as we're accelerating, so strokes 6, 7, and 8. And in order to make it a nice smooth transition from catch to drive immediately, I'm using this movement here, a downward movement of the wrist, very forearm driven. I have to improve my strength there because I can only do that about 8 kilos. I want to get that to about at least 17 kilos, maybe 20. So I'll show you an exercise that I think will help achieve that.
This is the exercise that I use to strengthen my triceps. I recommend you use it with a bit of arm movement as well, and add to it some wrist extension so that you can transition from catch to drive. Maybe not even transition, make it one, catch and drive at the same time.